So, the solar storms, they definitely doing their thing. And for those of us who are sensitive to energy, for those of us with chronic illnesses, for those of us who are healing trauma, for those of us who are cycle breakers, for those of us who have done shadow work, just know that whatever is coming up for you is coming up because this is another round of the purge. So I need you to really hear me out, okay? We're shifting timelines. If the body is breaking down, if the body is tired, if your sleep is weird, I need you to do whatever you got to do and whatever you can to make sure that your sleep hygiene is as healthy as it can possibly be. I want you to prioritize your sleep. Do not doom scroll beyond the amount of time that you set for yourself. If you say, I'm only going to be on here 10 minutes, only be on here 10 minutes and get off and do what you're supposed to be doing. Now, I talked about this in the weekly reading. You can watch that weekly reading on my YouTube channel. But we are going through a major purge right now. And with that purge, especially because we're in Scorpio season and it's 11/11 and it's a portal. Oh my body has been like really screaming at me. I got old traumas coming up. I can feel things with my children that's happening with them, whether they tell me or not. I can feel it energetically. My clairvoyance and clairsentience is so strong. I know things. I don't know how the fuck I know these things. I feel things. I don't know why I feel these things. Emotions come up. I break out in tears and just out the blue. All of a sudden I have this wave of exhaustion that hits me, and then I'm wired and I want to get up and do shit. I'm kind of feeling bipolar, just a little bit more than I usually do. And I need you to know, if you do have any mental illnesses, this is the time for you to create a toolkit. I need you to create you an 11/11 toolkit. Do it now. Don't wait. If you know you got some stuff going on, you got some coping mechanisms, you got some negative thoughts that you be listening to, if you know you got some negative habits, if you know you got some things that it will benefit you to change, I need you to write it down now. Put it on a sticky note. Put it on a piece of paper. Put it on your wall and remind yourself, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to let people trigger me into acting like the old version of me. I'm not going to do trauma reenactments, because every single time we reenact in trauma, even if it's based, I got complex PTSD. I get it. I have been diagnosed with clinical depression. I get it. I have anxiety. I get it. I've been very transparent about this because we don't talk about this enough. And a lot of us are neurospicy and hypersensitive. And when you combine those things with spiritual activation, oh my, you got a fucking situation happening there. So try to avoid toxic people if you can. If you live with them, put your kit together. Already decide how you're going to act before you have to react, so that you're not being in reactor mode, but you're being in creator mode. And those are the same letters, just in a different order. Create your reality. Stay calm. People are going to be triggered. People are going through things. People are sending out evil eye energy. People will even say, I'm praying for you. And that prayer might be one of the most violent prayers you ever heard in your life if you was able to listen to it. This is just because of the traumas that have been suppressed, because of the pain that has been suppressed. When people have hurt inside of them, sometimes they hurt people, and sometimes it's not intentional. You know, these are things that you learn as you heal and you grow. So if you feel like something is off, if you just feel off, it's okay. We're going through a solar activation right now. And look, this is the, 25th solar cycle, if I'm not mistaken. So the sun is waking up. And then we got 3-Eye Atlas. 3-Eye Atlas is so much more than it seems. You signed up to be here in this time. I want you to try to look at people with compassion. Try not to judge people or even judge yourself. Even when people say or do things that are hurtful, try to see the pain that's at the roots of their behavior instead of just looking at the behavior, because the behavior is a symptom. It is a side effect. A spiritual minded person has the capacity to see someone else's pain, even if it's hid behind hatred, even if it's hidden behind arrogance, even if it's hidden behind fear. And so this is a love frequency activation that we're going through, but we're going to have to let some stuff go. We're going to have to stop bullshitting ourselves and stop saying we're going to do stuff that we know we're supposed to do and not do it. We're going to have to move our body. I know it's achy. For those, like, for women, perimenopause right now, jeez, my joints be doing things. They be doing things that they should not be doing. They be screaming at me. My low back been screaming at me. The ancestors are asking us to release the burdens. So if your relationships feel more like trauma reenactments and you are empathic, intuitive, hypersensitive, step your spiritual game up. But the first shield of protection is your self-compassion. So the next time you feel yourself judging yourself, because I had a moment and I was judging myself. I had 10 tasks that I wanted to get done, and one day I got 2 done, and I was like, what? I feel like a fucking bum today. Why am I in bum mode? And I was like, hold on. Okay, it's okay to be a bum today. If that's what you need, baby girl, that's what we gonna do. Talk to yourself that way. Shield yourself psychically with compassion. If you are being critical towards yourself, you're going to attract people who are critical. You're going to attract people who are negative. And even then, don't judge it. Thank them for being a mirror to the work that you are being called to do on you. That's how you use this energy. In the past, I would do an entire ceremony and do petitions and do an entire ritual for 1111. But see, I'm not giving out that amount of energy anymore because I know that I'm meant to be giving that love to myself, but I can still share and teach. But it's time for us to start operating in our own gifts. It's time for us to stop waiting on something outside of us to validate us, to change us, to help us, to transform us. I know it's easy to get distracted. I know it's a lot going on. I know. But trust me when I tell you, rest and knowing that you are worthy and knowing that you are a child of the Creator, that you are here for a purpose. You are not here for no reason. And any trial, challenge, and tribulation that you go through has only came to make you better. Baby, ain't nothing happening in your life to break you. Everything happening in your life came to make you, to turn you into the best version of you. When you see it that way, when you see toxic relationships that way, the toxicity starts to be removed from the way it impacts your energy. Don't try to change people. Focus on you. Focus on what you can do different and hold yourself accountable. Now, I create communities because I know that that's the piece that's missing. Sometimes we need accountability. I put out a 21-day somatic exorcism challenge for you to move your body in ways to release things that you cannot intellectually work through. Shadow work on the intellectual level is beautiful, but if you are not getting into the body, you are not going through a process of transformation. You're only going through a process of making the ego feel better about the things that you are intellectualizing, but you will not be able to change anything unless your fascia changes. That is the tissues, the connective tissue within your body, and the messages and the trauma that it holds. Start simple. And I'm going to be closing that coven soon, unfortunately. I will give more information moving forward. And I'm also going to make sure that I am still able to get this work out to people who want to go deeper. So stay tuned for that.